Alright, so I understand that the thumbnail and the video title make it seem like I hated Frozen Empire, but that's not entirely true. I actually did enjoy the movie, quite a fair amount. The reviews at first scared me, but when I saw it, I was, okay, it's not that bad. The critics are blowing this way out of proportion. I mean, there's probably reasons for that. But also just general audiences weren't liking it. So it had gotten me scared. But coming out of the movie, I feel like I can say it wasn't that bad, right? It was still a pretty good Ghostbusters movie, and I think that's what people are forgetting is that it is a Ghostbusters movie and not, you know, Space Odyssey or Citizen Kane, right? So I think that's what people are forgetting. But at the same time, it had its problems. I'm not saying that it wasn't without its problems. Because the biggest problem was you tried to fit too much into one movie, and then you made that movie under 2 hours. So I'm going to kind of try and figure out in this video what went wrong and how we could fix it. But first, I'm going to let you know kind of my thoughts. So, I don't really, I'm kind of going scripted, kind of going unscripted. I wrote down all my thoughts beforehand, but I'm not looking at them because they're on my phone, which is what I'm using to record because I'm really smart. Most of this video is going to be spoilery, so I'm going to kind of throw this out there. I like the movie. That's what you guys need to know if you guys really want to know. A Ghostbusters fan liked the movie, so that's what you came for, I guess. Then you guys can scram if you don't want spoilers. So, but if you are okay with spoilers, you can stay. You can stick around for the cons and whatnot. All right, so I have some pros, not a lot, but I think I need to see it again. I've only seen it once. I'm planning on seeing it on Thursday for the second time. So I'll probably have some more then. But for right now, I've got 2 or 3 main pros. The first one is I love the opening, love it. I feel like the opening sequences for Ghostbusters movies keep getting better. The first one is iconic. The second one is probably the weakest. And then even 2016 had a pretty good opening. But the second movie in 2016 are probably both the weakest. But Afterlife and Frozen Empire both had pretty amazing openings, and I just love the flashback. It caught me so off guard, and I loved it. The second one is I loved the Phoebe and Paul Rudd dynamic that was briefly touched on. I wish we got more of it, and I love the new characters. Kind of subverted my expectations with all of them. So, my first con. Now these are a lot of like little nitpick things. Was there were no notable needle drops. Ghostbusters has had some amazing needle drops, especially in the first 2 movies, with original songs and whatnot. Even Afterlife had an original song, right? Haunted House, which was written by McKenna Grace. But Frozen Empire had none. And that I was really looking forward to an original song for this one. I felt like it was going to go back to its original roots, but no, nothing. So that was really a disappointment. Oh, another pro. I love the ending. It felt like a real Ghostbusters movie. The ending, the very ending. So just wanted to throw it out there. But no needle drops other than the Ray Parker Jr. song, the original Ray Parker Jr. song. So that really disappointed me. Also, I got the dog in here, obviously. The next one was Melody's, the character of Melody. There were some scenes. There was one particular scene where they're out in the. If you've seen the movie, you know which one I'm talking about. Where she leaves. I think it's right after the Firehouse tour. She's walking down a street. it's freezing over behind her, and Garaka comes up to her and is like, asking, why haven't you, you know, gotten her yet? And I hated that scene. I cringed in the theater. I turned to my friend and I was like, oh, they did not just do that. So that was a big con for me. That whole subplot, I feel like they could have done something completely different with Melody, which we'll get to. And then, let's see, we got no ghosts, that's a lie. We got no big ghost invasion sequence, which should have been a given, considering the trailers advertised 2 movies here. Every ghost that they've ever caught was about to get unleashed, and New York's freezing over. We did not get either of those, first of all. But we didn't get every ghost they ever caught ever getting unleashed. Or, well, we did, but it was like a single shot of the containment unit exploding and into the sky, and that was it. We didn't see any after effects of that, or any repercussions, nothing. And we didn't even see any of the ghosts, really. And then we barely saw New York freeze over. We just saw, like, the firehouse freeze over. So, again, we got promised 2 different movies, and we got neither of them. So, I think that's most of my cons. Also, a lot of the characters did not get enough screen time. So, that's basically all the cons. How can we fix it? That's the big question. My ideal scenario... Okay, so the easy answer is make a longer movie, but I don't think they wanted to do this because with Ghostbusters Afterlife, they did make a longer movie, and it really drags. I mean, I love Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's my favorite in the series, but it really drags, and it's not very rewatchable because of that. And yeah, it suffers. So I think that the best thing that they could do, scrap Frozen Empire and do this instead. If you guys were aware, during the filming of the movie, the working title was Firehouse. You can see from when I visited the set, which was actually one of my biggest cons of the movie that I forgot to mention. My scenes really weren't included, only one of them was. My scenes as if I was in it. Yeah. So, Ghostbusters Firehouse. I think that they should have followed that. And I think that this movie should have been them just getting readjusted into the firehouse. And that's it. In the big threat, there should have been no big bad, but the big threat should have been ghosts, or the containment unit bursting because they put the sewer dragon in, or because of Peck or something, and all the ghosts coming out and then going after the firehouse. And then it's a big standoff for the firehouse. I think that's what it should have been, right? You can have the possessor in there, you can have the mini puffs, whatever, right? And it can be everything that you can basically have 90% of what Frozen Empire was. Just get rid of Garaka but Kumail and Nanjiani. Put those off onto a different table for right now. We'll get back to those, okay? But we will keep Melody. We'll keep her in this, because that will work for the Phoebe subplot, which we'll get back to. And so Phoebe, actually, we'll do that right now. Phoebe really wants to be a Ghostbuster, but after the Peck incident, she's kind of pushed to the side and not allowed to. So she befriends the ghost Melody, and instead of the whole Garaka thing, she starts to kind of have her perspective changed on ghosts, and because that's the direction I thought it was going to go. And she's kind of like, maybe we're not the good guys here. Maybe we're kind of in the wrong, And so maybe that changes her opinion of the whole ghostbusting situation. Maybe she's like, you know what? I need some more time to think. Maybe it's okay. And then the final act comes up, and then Melody gives her the go ahead. And it's like it establishes that there's a line, between or a moral line, you know. So I don't know. I think that that's what could have been done. But there's, of course, this isn't perfect. There's gonna be some things that I'm forgetting or whatnot. Now you're probably wondering how you know, half the movie is Phoebe and Podcast and Ray's adventure, right? Well, also put that onto the side table. We're gonna get back to that, right? Use whatever time we just gained to establish those new characters. You know, like Lars, Pinfield, and Melody, and then build on to Trevor and Callie and Gary and all, you know, whatnot, right? All right, and so the movie ends how Frozen Empire ended, right? Peck endorses the Ghostbusters, whatever, right? Frozen Empire is actually the next movie, and you know, it's basically the Ghostbusters going about New York, kind of like it freezes over pretty early on in the movie, and they have to protect Kumail Nanjiani from Garaka and whatnot, and so and you're probably wondering, how does, you know, Garaka get free if, you know, Garaka needs the whole voice thing, right? There was a very confusing scene. I talked to some friends about it, but it was very confusing to me after the movie. They're at the library, and they have to... There's a whole chase sequence with the ghost where they have to get a wax cylinder back because there was a chant on it that freed it, that would free Garaka, and it went nowhere, right? It basically just led to Phoebe getting arrested, right? And that was it. But the wax cylinder never came up again. So that's how Garaka gets freed. You know, the wax cylinder, right? And then we can do the whole library chase sequence again, except this time the wax cylinder, or the possessor, gets away with the wax cylinder. There we go. So that's how I would fix Frozen Empire and essentially Ghostbusters Firehouse, and we would get 2 more movies out of it. So, and I think that would work pretty well. You know, we get to see some, you know, more screen time with, you know, the OGs maybe. I know there's some people who really don't want that, some people who really want that, who don't want the new cast at all. But a lot of people are just saying kill the Ghostbusters and just be done with the franchise. Those people suck. But anyway, so that would get them a little more money, and, you know, make the fans even happier. But it's too late for that now. My biggest gripe with the movie overall is just how much deleted content there was. You'll notice that I'm wearing this awesome red jacket. Ignore this. This awesome red jacket from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. This was... I bought this from Alex Gear. This was $130, and it came with actually a customized name patch. I just don't have it on. I took it off and put a Spangler one on. It's actually too small. But with a little bit of modifications, it'll be screen accurate. Like, I gotta get the light that goes here and the black belt. But it's a really nice jacket. It's got inside pockets. It's got 4 pockets on the outside plus this one. It's got things to clip stuff on. It's great. I'm gonna love wearing this to conventions and hopefully Ghostbusters Day. But yeah, so you should go buy one. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, so I really hope that, you know, the next Ghostbusters movie can, you know, really be, you know, great. And really redeem this one, but I hate to say it, Ghostbusters is dead. I feel like it's dead because going into this movie, people already hated it just because it was, you know, a ongoing franchise. People were already hating it, and I like the 2016 movie, I do, but it really put a sour taste in everybody's mouth, and that turned people away from Afterlife, and it's turning people away from Frozen Empire. Even how many years later? What, 7? 8 years later. So, you know, I really don't think that I want to get another Ghostbusters movie. I don't know if it's gonna be soon. So we're getting the animated show though. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will be uploading my my audit video this week as well, so be on the lookout for that. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys pick up one of these jackets. You can customize your name patch here. So if you want to, you can go Spengler, you can go Pinfield, you could go Venkman, you could go Zedmore, you could go, Stance, you could do whatever, right? Also, these things literally appeared in the movie for 5 minutes, and it kind of pisses me off. Which, where I was going with this whole part, is they cut so much content. They cut half the content that had these on, and that annoying for everybody who went out and bought one of these expensive jackets. So. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.